I spent $250 on this mystery box loaded with over 30 Star Wars minifigures, and in this video we'll go through each one to find out how much they're worth. Unfortunately, we were hit with a 27 Canadian dollar import fee because it came from the US, which brings our total to 278 US dollars. I have a bad feeling about this, but let's see if we can make our money back or if this was a scam. Our first minifigure is Kanan Jarrus, who's actually worth $17 and was released in 3 sets. Kanan is a super popular character from Rebels, so it's nice that he's not ridiculously expensive, although one of his variants is worth over $265, but we won't talk about that.
Did you see it? It's so beautiful.
Next up, we have a Phase 2 501st Clone Trooper from the Clone Wars worth $8 and released in 2 sets in 2013. LEGO released those clones based on the battle on Umbara in Season 4 of the Clone Wars. I remember getting both of these amazing sets as a kid. Up next, we have another super cool Clone Trooper, a Phase 1 Horn Company worth $8 and exclusively released in the 2011 Clone Trooper Battle Pack. I really like the prints on that minifigure and I find that they were ahead of their time. Next, we got another amazing Phase 2 Clone Trooper, and this time it's the Kashyyyk Clone Trooper, who usually goes for $13, but since he has a Clone Wars Clone Trooper head, he's actually worth $14. This minifigure was released in 2 sets. It'd be really nice if LEGO released more of them since the last one came out in 2016. Next, we got one of the most useless Star Wars characters ever, Finn. Now, I'm not gonna lie, Finn is absolutely intriguing as a character in The Force Awakens, but his character development is lagging hard in The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. Feel free to let me know your thoughts about this in the comments. Anyways, this minifigure goes for $4 and is actually exclusive to the 2017 Resistance Transport Pod. Next is a super cool figure. At first, I thought it was a fake LEGO, but what's fascinating is that it's actually made out of real LEGO pieces. Ain't that cool? After doing some research, it looks to be a custom LEGO ARC Trooper minifigure, and from what I've seen, they can go from $25 to $75. I couldn't find the specific one I have here, so I'm pretty sure it could go for at least $35. Anyway, I think this was a very cool find so far. Next up, we had the OG Emperor Palpatine priced at $10, exclusively released in the Star Wars #1 Sith minifigure pack back in 2000. He does appear to be wearing a fake cape, but it's hard to tell with all the ones LEGO has made.
In our future.
Next is another cool minifigure, the Mandalorian Night Owl, which was released in 2 sets and goes for $4. It's nice to have such a cool Mandalorian figure at a reasonable price. Next, we got a Bounty Hunter exclusively released in the Jack 14 Stealth Starfighter in 2013, and this one goes for a solid $17. I'm truly amazed by how detailed this minifigure is. It's a really nice one. Next, we got Kanan's apprentice, Ezra Bridger, who goes for $11 and was released in 2 sets and a book. We also have Grand Moff Tarkin's OG minifigure worth $12 and released in 2 sets. Fun fact, it took LEGO 7 years to release the first Grand Moff Tarkin minifigure in the 2006 Imperial Star Destroyer. We also have 2 Mandalorian Death Watch warriors, both missing their jetpacks, so they only go for about $2 each. Next up is a super cool minifigure. It appears to be a custom LEGO Darth Revan, once again made with real LEGO pieces, so it's most likely from Republic Bricks or GCC. It's hard to say exactly how much it's worth, but I'd estimate around $35, similar to the ARC Trooper. Next, we have what you might think is a random head, but it turns out to be Count Dooku's or Saruman's, which are really expensive minifigures, so that piece goes for $21, which is insane, but perhaps not as insane as this Jango Fett's head, which goes for $72. Next, we got 2 of these Imperial Hover Tank pilots, which usually go for $10 each, but since one is missing his helmet, we'll have to subtract $5 from their value. These amazing minifigures only came out in the 2017 Imperial Assault Hover Tank. Hopefully we find Sharut's minifigure in this bundle. Next, we have this $4 Luke Skywalker, who only appeared in the 2012 Desert Skiff. None of his pieces are exclusive though, since a similar variant came out in the Rancor's Pit. We also have Boba Fett's legs and torso pieces from that same set, which go for only $2. Next, we have an Imperial Commando, which is another super detailed minifigure that came out in 2 sets. We also have 2 Wookiees that are exclusive to the Wookiee gunship from 2016 because of their printed arms. They're both worth $7 each. Next, we have 2 Republic Troopers, both with the wrong heads, but despite that, they still go for the same price as usual, which is $5 each. Those minifigures are exclusively released in the 2013 Republic Troopers vs Sith Troopers Troopers Battle Pack. Next we have a Rebel Hoth Trooper worth about $3, and this minifigure is completely mixed up with random parts. Next we have a $4 Tusken Raider released in 3 sets, and this one comes with his staff, so that's very nice. Next we have a Senate Commando who usually goes for $6, but without the helmet and with the wrong head, he's only worth $4. This minifigure only appeared in the 2015 Senate Commando Troopers Battle Pack. Next up is another Star Wars character who lacked character development, Rose. This minifigure goes for $3 and was released in 2 sets. Next we have what appears to be a Resistance Pilot X-Wing with a clone trooper head instead of its original one. This minifigure was exclusively released in the 2015 Pose X-Wing Fighter and usually goes for $6, but with the clone trooper head, it's worth an additional $1. Next we have a Sith Trooper who's got a lot of nicks and scratches on his head. This one was only released in the 2013 Republic Troopers vs Sith Troopers Battle Pack and is worth $6 even though it has the wrong head. Next up we have this $4 Han Solo released in 2 sets back in 2014. That's before LEGO created that nicer hairpiece for Han back in 2016 with the release of the UCS Death Star. I still believe this was the best Death Star ever made by LEGO. Next up is this Hoth Rebel Trooper released in 2 sets in 2016. This one usually goes for $4, but since he has the wrong legs and is missing his backpack and goggles, he's only about $3. We also had this $3 Luke Skywalker with his Hoth outfit who came out in 3 sets. If you're looking to buy this kind of Luke Skywalker, this one's definitely the best bang for your buck because the one from the UCS Assault on Hoth goes for $46 just because of the exclusive head, which I thought was wild. There's also the variant from the 2010 Wampa Cave for only $4, but I believe that one's plain compared to the $3 one that we have right here. Anyways, next we have General Hux exclusively released in the 2017 First Order Heavy Scout Walker. This one typically goes for $7, but without his printed legs, he's only worth about $5.
As the last day of the Republic!
Finally, we have the last minifigure that came in the Wookiee gunship, Wolf Warrow, a Wookiee worth $10. I really like the prints on that minifigure, especially the ones on his right arm. We also have an extra blue lightsaber that we can give to Finn so he can fight Kylo Ren. Anyway, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button as this is the best free way to support us, help us grow the channel, and make even better videos. Make sure to subscribe and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye bye.